Hey, thank you for... Whoa, that's got to be an album. I think we have an album request. Oh, what album is it? I'm excited now, man. We're doing a Linkin Park album today. Let's go. Okay, we're doing Meteora. We'll get to that later on in the cube.
2 hours later.
Real quick. This is me, CDTV Productions right here, you know? I've got to go and get my twin, CDTVthaG, to do the reaction to this one in case, you know, he ends up making it into a video for his channel. Yo, it's your boy, CDTVthaG, and today we're gonna be doing a reaction to Meteora by Linkin Park, sent in by Alex Canaz. Thank you very much for that donation. Ah, you're so much cuter than your brother. Thank you, thank you. What is this? Thai massage? What were you guys listening to with my twin? Come on now. Your first ever reaction to a Linkin Park album. Yes, it is. So I'll just play the first song anyway because it's 13 seconds long, and then we'll let it run straight into track 2. Track number 1, Foreword. Let's go. Yo, that shit's hard, bro.
Keep your hands off me, millionth dollar.
That's not the next song on Meteora. I forgot I had a Spotify queue for my bathroom breaks. Okay, that wasn't how I was expecting that to go. Let's try that again. All right, and this goes into Don't Stay. That sounds like it goes together better. Ooh.
Sometimes I need to remember just to breathe. Need you to stay away from me.
Something about Linkin Park, man, it just clicks with me. Some of this will be nostalgic for me because I'll have heard some of this, but I don't think I've heard this one.
I don't need you anymore.
It's interesting, Schmerkel, because usually I don't like sort of more screamo vocals, but I think somehow Chester Bennington just does them in the right way. So that was track number 2 on the album, Don't Stay. Me Millionth Dollar was not the second track. That was pretty damn good. There's something about Linkin Park's music that, despite me not being a big metal fan in any type of way, it just really, really works for me. And I don't really know why it is, but I feel like Chester Bennington was probably just a great vocalist. Usually screaming metal delivery, that's like the worst thing for me, but Chester just makes it work, bro. Alex is saying angelic screaming, I like to call it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Let's get on to the next one. Track number 3, Somewhere I Belong. This one sounds familiar. Have I heard this? Yeah, I did hear this one. I can't believe this is the first time I'm listening to this album. Like, I just know Linkin Park songs here and there. This sounds like WWE, like pay-per-view theme music to me. That hook in particular. God, Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington work so well together. The way their vocals are working together at this part, god damn. God, that hook is so good, man. Damn. Oh, yeah. Somewhere I Belong. That shit goes crazy, man. The intro was good, Don't Stay, but Somewhere I Belong just... Whew, what an amazing song. Just the chemistry and the way that Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington worked together during the verses was so clean. I loved Chester having these almost like, just these like singing type ad-libs, Mike with his verse and everything, and then the chorus on that, man. Absolutely amazing. That just sounded astounding. I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. That song is going to be stuck in my head for a while, man. I know I've heard it before, but it really clicked with me right there. Okay, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page just to see if this was used for anything in particular. Israel Adesanya used the song as his walkout song during UFC 263. There we go. It's not WWE, but it's a fighting event, you know? So, let's get on to the next one right here. Somewhere I Belong was an absolute highlight. I don't think I've heard this. Track number 4, Lying From You. Oh yeah, we're about to get a drill beat right here.
Everything is what I want it to be. I look exactly like what you had always wanted to see. It'll stay, I'm just trying to bend the truth.
You know what I think works a lot with Linkin Park songs? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's got that element to it of the lyrics are never like super specific. They're more sort of generalized. The like maximum number of people can listen to this and like relate to it because it doesn't get too deep into specifics. But I think it really works in that type of way as having a more relatable content to it. Damn, his goddamn vocals, man. Look, a rap verse, CDTV can enjoy the album now, yeah. Another banger right there. So yeah, I will say a couple things that maybe sound like criticisms, but they don't necessarily bother me with Linkin Park that much. Maybe it's because I haven't listened to many full albums from them. I feel like a lot of their songs sound very similar. They usually have a similar overall tone, message within the content. A lot of them have a similar song structure, but I'm not saying it as like a super negative thing. It's just something I've noticed. And like I said, it feels like the content is generalized in a way where it can apply to a bunch of people. The lyrics are general enough that you can apply them to your own situation. They don't really go into specific details. And I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why their music was as big as it was. But I'm not mad at it because still the individual songs sound great to me. Make Shinoda's pretty great too. Make Shinoda's sort of like the, he almost does a little bit of a slightly rap element in there, you know? I can finally enjoy the music, guys. There's rap going on. Track number 5, Hit the Floor. Don't think I've heard this. Oh, they described this as a heavy song with a hip-hop bounce, apparently.
Wondering what I think of you when I protect you out of courtesy. Afraid to say what was on my mind, afraid to say what I need to say. So I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine. 1 minute you're on top, mission 9, watch it drop. Cause I've had so many handoffs with you, it's about as much as I can stand. So 1 minute you're on top, mission 9, watch it drop. Well, it's all gone. I know I'll never trust a single thing you say.
The guitars definitely feel heavier on this one, I think. A bit more of a intense hardcore sound to it. Hit the Floor was pretty solid, but that one, despite having some hip-hop-ish elements to it, I guess like a hip-hop bounce to it, that one clicked with me a little less than the rest of the songs that we got so far. It was a lot heavier with the sort of like rock elements and the guitars during the chorus. They were very intense, you know, to my sensitive, delicate little ears. It wasn't too bad, it's just that one clicked with me a little bit less. And yeah, definitely a very similar structure to a lot of the songs, I think. Overall, it's been a pretty nice experience so far, though. It's just Somewhere I Belong is like at the top of the mountain for me right now. You know, that song, something about that just clicks insanely well. So track number 6, Easier to Run. Another one that I don't think I'm familiar with. Seems like this might be a more Chester-focused one, alright.
If I could change, I would. Take back the pain, I would. Trace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could change, I would. Take back the
Damn, okay, I like this one. This one's feeling a little bit different, actually. Making me eat my words on the next song. It still has your Linkin Park trademarks in there, but this one, yeah, it feels a little bit different. Man, Chester has some versatile vocals too. This sounds really good. And then he can just flip into like the screamo vocals like instantly.
stand up and take the blame, I would take all my shame to the grave. Just watching it, it's easier to run.
God, and those like little strings right there. I do like me some strings. Shout out to the inventor of strings, bro. They went off.
Stand up and take the blame, I would take all my shame to the grave.
Okay, that was good. That was good. I put that as a potential favorite, Easier to Run. Right when I said it felt like the song structures were pretty similar, this one actually felt a little bit fresh. It felt like something different. The hook of it still felt like extremely Linkin Park, but I feel like the rest of the song outside of that was somewhat different. I really like the strings that you had in the instrumental. Chester Bennington's softer vocals sound amazing as well. He must have just had some great range as a vocalist, man. I'm respecting the Chester Bennington vocals, you know, because back when I listened to Linkin Park when I was younger, like just the songs, the big songs in the radio or the ones at the end of the Transformers movies, I was like, oh yeah, like Linkin Park. Yeah, that's Linkin Park right there. I didn't know the individual member names, but yeah, now I'm appreciating like the stuff Chester Bennington is doing here. Mike Shinoda was great on this song too. I liked his little pre-chorus. Sounded very like heavenly almost. That song was great. We're already kind of past the halfway point of the album, or like right at it. That's crazy. Track number 7, Faint. This is another one of the biggest songs on here, but I don't think I'm familiar with that. I don't recognize it by the name. Ooh, okay, those drums, hold on.
A little bit of disregard, handful of complaints.
I recognize that verse, but it's just because Critical, the YouTuber Critical, referenced that verse in one of his older videos.
If I was in his position and I couldn't think of shit, I'd probably just recite a rap song and hope nobody knew what it was from. Yo, fuck it. I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. Then mic drop. And if anyone calls me out for the blatant plagiarism, I just cry and run away.
But I've never heard the song myself. And we got his strings again, that's what's up.
Let go, watching you turn your back like you always do. I can't the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I am a little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can. No matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. Time won't change this damage anymore.
Oh my god, it's going very intense, screamy. And then that's Chester right here as well. The switch up is crazy. Again, I'm gonna pause it. I have very basic like metal knowledge, but there's something about, I don't know if it's the guitars or the way the chorus starts, but this reminds me of that song. Don't know who it's by, but that I feel like a monster. It reminds me of that a little bit. I don't know if anyone else hears that or if I'm just crazy. Goes a bit different in this song, but just the like parts of it. Damn. I'm surprised I haven't heard that one, but that went pretty crazy. Faint might have to be another one on the favorites list, bro. I'm interested to like come back to this album and listen again and again so that the songs become more distinguishable for me, because I feel like, you know, multiple listens, definitely more songs will stick out to me more than others, but I'm really enjoying this listen right here, and Faint was another banger. There's just something that's a little bit iconic about that. I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard. This is pretty great. Another one that had some strings during the verses, so that always gets me on board. You add a nice dramatic string sound to the track and boom, I'm hooked. So let's move on to the next one right here. Track number 8, Figure 09. Let's see what we got right here.
All these thoughts and the pain attached to them. Sometimes I wonder why this is happening. You become a part of me. You'll always be right here. Myself and what I've done. And I knew as they escaped away, I was committing myself to them. And every day I never goes away. And now you become a part of me. Get away from me. Give me my space back. You gotta just.
Damn. Damn, that was a solid bridge, man. Yeah, you're right, Looney. Mike Shinoda and Chester's chemistry is wild. Pretty nice. I do feel like listening to these back to back to back, they do blend in a little bit together. I think there's definitely like a formula for Linkin Park choruses as well. Like Chester Bennington is a great vocalist, and he makes, you know, screamo vocals listenable for me, somebody who usually hates screamo vocals. Like somehow he just makes it work. But it definitely feels like there is a certain formula to the choruses on here, and they all have a pretty similar kind of format, I guess, or like feeling to them, and maybe even similar content as well. I liked this song overall, and I thought the bridge on it went crazy. It was pretty heavy, pretty hard, but somehow I managed to get into it. That's Linkin Park for me, really. I don't normally like this sound, but somehow I managed to get into it when they do it. I don't think there's been any bad songs on it. so far. Some that maybe sound a bit similar to others, but nothing that's been bad, nothing that I dislike, and the listening experience of it is still fun. So let's get on to the next one we have here. We're already on track number 9. God damn. This is Breaking the Habit. Ooh, hold on. God damn, that guitar on this? God damn it, bro. Alright, I'm pausing it just to say, every time I mention something, I feel like they prove me a little bit wrong on the next track. Like, I still stand overall by what I'm saying, but like last song I was like, yeah, the choruses, they do feel like they have a bit of a formula to them. They're usually the same type of thing. And then this one is just like, it doesn't have a more screamo style chorus. It still has like the same type of content as the hooks usually do, I think. But this one is just a softer sound overall. Instrumental on this is crazy too. Man. His vocals are exactly what they need to be for this music, bro. Fits it picture perfectly. Alright, you guys already know. That's got to go on the potential favorites list as well. That one was another one that actually did, you know, feel a little bit different. For the most part, delivered with softer vocals. Brendan would put it perfectly there. Chester was just something different. He doesn't feel like he's trying too hard and it just flows so well together. Yeah, you listen to it and it just feels extremely natural, but like perfect for the song at the same time. I don't know how he did this shit, man. It also says in the Genius description here, Mike Shinoda wrote this track inspired by his friend's drug addiction, and also apparently Chester Bennington was unable to perform this live for quite a while. The song made him feel too emotional because of the parallels between himself and the narrator, so that's pretty heartbreaking as well. Completely Chester Bennington on the vocals, but like this description said, Mike Shinoda wrote it. So again, that's that chemistry just working insanely well together. Like, Mike wrote this, but he wrote it to fit in a perfect way to Chester's style. So track number 10, From the Inside. We're already moving into the closing stretch of the album, bro. Ooh.
I don't know who to trust, no surprise.
Trying not to break, but I'm so tired of this deceit.
Take everything from the inside.
Everyone feels so far away.
And I love this bit. Yeah, the verse, the back and forth with Chester and Mike.
Every time I try to make myself get back up on my feet, all I ever think about is this.
I won't waste myself on you.
Damn. I don't know much about this genre, subgenre, like I've said, but even with that, I feel like you can just tell Chester did some special shit on this, man. Yeah, this album is going by so quick. So that was From the Inside. Another one that felt more in line with the Linkin Park, I'll say the Linkin Park Meteora formula, because I don't think I've heard much from them outside of this, really. I still think it was really great. Again, we got to see all the things that I'm liking about this. The chemistry between Chester and Mike. Chester's vocals, full stop. The hooks that are really powerful and emotive. It all works together really well, and it's good, man. So track number 11, Nobody's Listening. Let's go. Oh, I think have I heard this one? I think I got sent this one by Alex, I believe.
With these non-stop lyrics of life living, not to be forgotten, but still unforgiven. Spreading the dirt it goes.
Yeah, I definitely heard this. It's a different sound, this one. And in the context of the album, it hits way better.
I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress.
Oh.
I'm riding on the back of this pressure, guessing that it's better. I can't keep myself together.
Hey, let me bring up the favorites list already. This shit's going on there.
Got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, head full of anger.
Heavy Mike Shinoda focus on this one. And he's doing his thing, man. Nobody's listening. Oh my god. I feel like this album is also just gonna sound better when I come back through for a second listen. That production as well, man. Oh, Nobody's Listening. That's absolutely one of my favorites on here. I can't remember what my twin, CDTV Production, said when he was sent in this song during another paid request live stream, but I feel like it just hits even harder within the context of the album because it feels like a little bit of a change. This one probably has like the heaviest Mike Shinoda focus on the whole album, but Chester still manages to stand out as well, because how do you put a hook like that on a song that sounds like this and make it work perfectly? How do you do that? Mike Shinoda's absolutely holding his own as well, and I think he was great on here. Just his verses along with the instrumental, that shit slapped. Oh my god. Okay, we have 2 songs left. It almost feels like it's over too soon, but like, I think that's a good thing in the sense that it leaves you wanting more. I feel satisfied by the album listen, but I also want to replay it back and just, you know, get more of it. And that's how you should feel after listening to an album. You shouldn't feel relieved when you finish a fucking 25 track album, you know? So track number 12, Session. Next one is instrumental only. Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, it's a cool little instrumental. It's almost like a little bridge into Numb. So that was Session. That's gonna roll into Numb, the last track on the album somehow. We're already there. That was really good. I think that works pretty well as a bridge from like Nobody's Listening into Numb. That also, you know, had a bit of a rap rock vibe to it. And so of course I thought it was a hard instrumental. Not too much to say about it because it was purely instrumental, but I still really enjoyed it. Let's get into the last track on the album. 1.3 billion streams. And it's deserved. It's track number 13, Numb. I have, of course, heard this song. I don't know many people who haven't. Listening to this within the album, I appreciate it even more as well. Oh my god, the vocals, man. God, it's so iconic. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Oh my god. I have not listened to Hybrid Theory, no. Oh man, it's so good. I see why this song was like the biggest one from the album. There's something about it that just stands out as excellent, man. Want me to be. Wow. So I think it's quite obvious that is going on the favorites. I knew that was going on the favorites before I even started the album. Numb is just a fantastic song. It has such a wide appeal. There's just something about it that really stands out. Amongst this album, which has a bunch of great sounding music, that just sounds like a hit. And it's funny as well, because I was looking at the Wikipedia page for Meteora. I just opened it up in a different tab. So apparently the album came out in March 25th, 2003, and Numb was released as a single on September 8th. 2003, because I wasn't sure if Numb came out before the album because it's such a big song, you know. Just knowing that that's how they ended it and people didn't find out until they reached that last track, insane. That was an amazing experience, actually. Meteora by Linkin Park is great. So, favorites and least favorites on the album. My favorites on here were Somewhere I Belong, Easier to Run, Faint, Breaking the Habit, Nobody's Listening, and Numb. That's 6 songs on a 13-song project that were like my absolute favorites. Least favorites, there are none. There are no least favorites. It's an extremely consistent album. The quality stays high throughout. There's only 13 songs, and they have, a very, very consistent sound and themes on here. I think if you like one track on this project, the odds are that you're gonna love the rest of the album too, and I experienced that right here. I have no clue because this is the only Linkin Park album I have ever listened to in full, but I feel like this might have been them at their best, maybe, because you just see constant chemistry between Chester Bennington and Mike Shinoda. And I've also got to mention the other members. We also have Brad Delson, Rob Burden, Joel Hahn, and Dave Farrell. So yeah, shout out to all of them. Chester stood out so much to me, even as someone that doesn't listen to the genre myself. Like, there's just something that feels special about his vocals, the way he makes it work perfectly with every single track. None of the vocals sound off. They sound perfect in a way that is almost like scary. Like, how the hell did you do that? Mike Shinoda had some great contributions. I loved what he did on was it Nobody's Listening, which was a more rap focused song, had longer verses than the majority of the tracks on here, so I feel like he really got his chance to shine on there. In terms of a rating, it's hard to give that a rating after my first listen, because I don't even know if my criticisms for it I would necessarily say are criticisms. It's just observations, like the fact that a lot of the tracks are pretty similar in terms of their sound, their structure, and the lyrics. A lot of the hooks say very similar things within the lyrics, but here I'm just not mad about that really, because every single song is pretty great. Considering it's not my type of subgenre, but I still really like it, my rating after more listens could fluctuate anywhere from a 7 to an 8 to a 9. Literally, it could be anywhere between that. I genuinely don't know. I've never listened to any type of like metal or nu metal album before, so for me it's all like, this is a completely unique experience that I can't compare to anything else in the genre. But all I can say is I really enjoyed this. The album felt shorter than it was, even though it was like, it is short at 36 minutes, but it felt like the experience was over so quickly, but in a way that left me wanting more in the exact right type of way.